The White House is demanding Donald Trump be handed the Nobel Peace Prize, despite drone strikes on Iran, a raging Gaza war, and no end in sight in Ukraine. Critics say it's propaganda dressed as peace, more about power and ego than diplomacy. With Cambodia now nominating him, the question isn't whether Trump made peace, but whether bombing first and brokering later should ever be called peacemaking. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is getting put on blast after she once again demanded that President Donald Trump be given the Nobel Peace Prize.
President Trump has brokered, on average, about one peace deal or ceasefire per month during his 6 months in office. It's well past time that President Trump was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
While Trump has had his hand in some ceasefire agreements, his efforts overall have been a mixed bag. A ceasefire between Israel and Iran, for example, came only after he launched a US strike on Iranian facilities. And some of the biggest conflicts have continued to rage. Trump vowed repeatedly to end the war between Russia and Ukraine on his first day in office, but the situation has only worsened. He also promised to end the war in Gaza, but Israel's assault since October 2023, following the Hamas attack, continues and the humanitarian crisis has escalated. Trump has instead complained that he didn't get a thank you from Gaza for sending money intended for food aid. But Leavitt's demand is in line with Trump's longtime grievance over the Peace Award. He's complained repeatedly about not getting one during his previous term in office, insisting that he should have had 4 or 5 of them by now, and how he doesn't like that President Barack Obama was awarded one. As a result, Leavitt's critics fired back with a number of facts about her boss. Some also noted that she seemed to pronounce Nobel as noble, which, ironically, is how Trump himself has spelt the name of the prize in the past. And a few compared her over-the-top praise for her boss to North Korean propaganda. Meanwhile, Cambodia announced that it will nominate US President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, its Deputy Prime Minister said on August 1, following his direct intervention in halting the Southeast Asian country's recent border conflict with Thailand. Speaking to reporters in the capital, Phnom Penh, Sun Chantol thanked Trump for bringing peace and said he deserved to be nominated for the prize, the highest profile international award given to an individual or organization deemed to have done the most to advance fellowship between nations.
We, on behalf of all Cambodians, we praise and thank the President Donald Trump for peace. We acknowledge his great efforts for peace, and we must request that he, Donald Trump, deserves to be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Trump has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize before, but never won. This year, support has come from US lawmakers, Pakistan and Israel, though some early backers, such as Ukrainian MP Oleksandr Mereshko, have since withdrawn support, citing inconsistency. Detractors remain unconvinced. Emma Shortus, senior fellow at RMIT University, remarked,
"Nominating Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize is like entering a hyena in a dog show. There is no peace in Gaza, and Trump's diplomacy is transactional, not transformative."
The White House has ignited fierce debate after Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt declared that President Donald Trump should receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Much of the case for Trump's nomination centers on his dramatic actions against Iran. In June this year, US intelligence reported Tehran was accelerating its nuclear weapons program. In response, Trump ordered strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, which Washington described as totally obliterated. Iran retaliated with a limited missile strike on a US base in Qatar, though no casualties were reported. Supporters argue that the move prevented Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon, averted a regional arms race, and reinforced American deterrence without triggering full-scale war. Congressman Buddy Carter submitted a formal nomination letter citing Trump's what he called bold, decisive actions to halt Iran's nuclear ambitions. Days after the strikes, Trump brokered a ceasefire between Iran and Israel, halting weeks of fighting that had threatened to spiral into regional war. The agreement, still holding despite skepticism, has been described as extraordinary by foreign leaders. Netanyahu praised Trump as a peacemaker in one country and one region after another. Trump's latest efforts follow earlier ventures, including the Abraham Accords 2020, which normalized ties between Israel and several Arab states, mediation attempts in Ukraine and Gaza, and moves to ease tensions between India and Pakistan, which remains controversial. However, the Indian government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has repeatedly refuted the claims made by Trump. Moreover, critics argue that these achievements are fragile, transactional, and sometimes self-serving. Meanwhile, the Nobel Committee's mandate includes promoting fraternity between nations, disarmament, and humanitarian work. Trump's supporters argue his peace through strength strategy fits these aims. Critics say bombing nuclear facilities and striking ceasefires under threat of force is the opposite of peace. Betting markets now place Trump among the top contenders, though many observers see politics rather than principle driving the campaign. Whether or not Trump wins, the controversy has revived an old question. In the 21st century, does peace mean diplomacy alone, or can force and deterrence also be rewarded as peacemaking?